Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. The following video was making this card. It's a double triangle fun fold card. It's a mini one. And it was filmed last week over on Facebook. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get it here over on YouTube and on my blog. But it's a really cute card. And don't forget there's an inspiration sheet with all the measurements. I hope you enjoy the video. So we are making a fun fold card this morning. And we are using the... well, let me show you. Heartfelt and Bonanza Buddies, because I wanted to use animals, but make it a Valentine card. So the card that I made today was more of a creation for a kid-friendly card instead of a honey card. And I've showed lots of cards for adults. So today my card is geared more towards children. And this was my first attempt this morning because I'm thinking I'm going to use him. But he was too big for what I wanted to make, so we're using the koala today, right? Okay, so Real Red cardstock, that is 8 by 8. And then we're actually not going to be using this one. I used this one on the sample that I made this morning, and I'm changing it up to use this one. So this one is got the white background, whereas this one has the pink background. We may like the pink background better. I don't know. And we have 2 pieces of Whisper White that measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I have one of our heart doilies. So we're going to slide this back in here. Again, we're using Heartfelt and Bonanza Buddies. And we can use the stamp set, or we can just cut this guy out of the Designer Series paper. So I love this pack of paper. So we'll go ahead and just cut him out. I did stamp him this morning, and I'll show you that towards the end. Okay, so you need 1 koala. And by the way, the koala from the Beanie Baby, Lane Swerve, his birthday, look, it's today, 1/15/1996. This is Mel, our Beanie Baby. You know, we're going through all of our stuff, the kids' stuff, before we move. We're not purging him. He's staying. We love him. But today's his birthday. My mind thinks like a child a lot of the time. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to get the paper trimmer out. And we're going to score this 8 by 8 piece of Real Red cardstock at 4 inches on both sides. So I'm going to get the cutting blade out of my way, and I'm going to place it 4 inches and then score. And then I'm going to turn it and score it again at 4 inches. So both sides score at 4 inches. Okay. Next, we're going to place, now we've made this card before. It's a double triangle fun fold card, but we're making it smaller. This is like a child's Valentine or a kid, or you could give it to me. I would be happy to get this. Okay, so we're going to place this tip and this tip in the track on our trimmer, and we're going to cut. So make sure that the tip is in there and the tip is down here. And cut. So now we have 2 cards we can make. Oh, you know what? While we've got our trimmer, let's go ahead and cut our paper. So again, this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to place it here and here. So the tip here, and cut. Okay? Okay. Which one do we want to use? We'll see which one folds the best. There's always one that looks a little bit better than the other. Yeah, this one kind of flaps over a little bit. Yeah, so we're going to use this one. And see, that one's a little short, so that's okay because that's how I made my sample. Okay, see there's a little gap there. And the paper goes on top, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We got all the Designer Series paper shares shipped out. When did they go? Monday, I think. So now I'm like using my some of my leftover paper that I had. I always order a couple extra because if I were to mess up, I would be like, holy cow, what am I going to do? So now I have some extra paper to play with. David cut all the paper. I was terrified too that he was going to mess up because he has not cut Designer Series paper yet. He did not mess up. He's not fired. Now he gets to cut for the Team Bingo and the Heartfelt class. I've given him instructions that tomorrow night, because the order is going to be arriving tomorrow. He has to cut. Okay, so there's that. I just realized I talked through that whole thing. Sorry about that. Okay, so now for our inside, we are going to stamp love. So this is from the Heartfelt set. And then this little heart. Put this over here. I was going to use this on the front of my card, but that little comma kind of, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just nitpicking, but I just couldn't use it. Ruh-roh. Let's turn it over. Two-sided paper, thank goodness. I need my Stampin' Mat. There we go. Okay. We'll open this up. Turn that over. Okay. Now, we're going to add the doily right in the middle, but we only want to attach it either to the top portion of the card or the bottom portion. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on how you want the person you're giving it to open it. So they can open it this way, or I'm going to place it on this side here, my adhesive, and I just want to put just a little. Come on. It is crazy at how much liquid glue I use now. Okay, so in the center, and then let's make sure I didn't get any. Nope. See, there's none there. Now let's stamp. So I'm going to take the heart, and I'm using basic gray because I want to tie in the color of the koala with this card because there's not any gray on here. So we're going to add some by stamping this heart. I love this. Okay. Then we're going to take Real Red and stamp Love You Lots. Isn't that pretty, the combination of those two colors together? And we want to cut out the heart with the heart punch. Yeah, okay, so now we need to get the die cutting machine, and we're going to cut this guy out. Where's my die? Remember this thing? We're going to be using that too. I called it a thing because I can't remember the name right now. Okay, so let me get the machine. I don't need that. So this die that goes with the heartfelt, not the heartfelt, the heart-to-heart stamp set. Cuts all these little miscellaneous hearts out, which is really great if you need a bunch of hearts. So I like the teeny tiny one right here. Oh, come here. Let me get my silicone mat. My liquid glue. And then I need my take your pick tool. So I'm going to add a little smear of liquid glue. Get this. This thing is tiny, so I'm just going to pick up some glue. And we're going to give him a heart. Isn't that cute? Okay, this goes here. That goes there. So that came from these. Or that, I should say. Okay, now get our card back here. And I couldn't decide when I was making this card if I should pop this layer up or if I should leave it flat. So on my original, I left it flat. This time I'm going to pop it up. I may change my mind and I may say, oh no, too much popping up. But we'll see. Dimensionals are really easy to remove. I don't know if you guys know that. When you use liquid glue, once it's stuck, it's stuck. When you use other adhesive, it's stuck. When you use dimensionals, you can kind of peel it up, which is really awesome. Look how cute. Okay, so we need dimensionals on the back of him too. Okay, now, where's my ribbon? I could not resist adding some type of embellishment. Even though we have the doily here, I decided I needed a little bit of ribbon. So I'm taking 2 strands of the flax ribbon. So those people that are getting my heartfelt class, I think you're getting a yard of this flax ribbon. So you'll have plenty to make your projects. But I just love using this stuff. And it's small for like this small card. Like big ribbon wouldn't. I tried. Big ribbon doesn't look good. Like look, it's too big. You know, yeah, it's bigger than him. Okay, so double bow. Or 2 strands and make a bow, I should say. If y'all are waiting on the rock candy box, the video has been edited. All I have to do is take pictures. Yeah, I got the template made already. We had to go meet with lighting people yesterday for the house, so I am, of course, running behind. I want to take my bone folder and curl the ends. And I may have to trim it more in just a second, so let's see. No, that's pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue dots. And I'm going to pick up the glue dot with my take your pick tool and then kind of wad it up and place it where I want, because I want this glue dot to be exactly where I want it. I mean, sometimes I pick it up with this, but the glue dot is bigger than the knot in that center of the bow. Does that make sense? I keep a binder clip on my glue dots so that they don't get unraveled. Do y'all have that problem? Binder clip works. Okay, so let me show you my original and the envelope. So I always get this question when I make these small cards. This is like my favorite size. It's 4x4. It is my most favorite size. And because I don't write a lot in my cards. In fact, I don't have the gift of gab, so I write very little. Yeah, I never really know what to say. So I like I like little space for writing. So 4x4, and it does fit in our envelopes. It doesn't fill it up, you know, it doesn't fill it up. But I promise you, if someone gets this card, they're not going to open it up and say, oh, her envelope is way too big. They're just going to look at the cute card, right? Okay, so here's the one I made this morning. And then here's the one we just made. And the difference of the two is this time, on this one, my original one, I used the pink on the back of the Designer Series paper. And then this one is the white. I actually like them both, but I think that he pops a little bit more on the Whisper White. Okay, so let's look at the adding a faceted. What do you think? Should I add a faceted gem to the center of his heart? Let's see what it will look like. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and that one's too big. Let's pick up a smaller one. What do you think? Oh, it's kind of cute. Yeah. Okay, so I still have that little bit of liquid glue there. So I'm just going to pick up my gem, get some glue on it. I need the point to the Take Your Pick tool to hold it in place. I kind of got too much glue, but that glue does dry clear. So, yeah. A chick stand is just a paper piercer stand, but since the paper piercer retired, it holds your Take Your Pick tool. Yeah, so for years, I had the paper piercer, but he retired. So, but it does hold the Take Your Pick tool. The only piece of advice I have is use the same hole, because the tip of this is monstrous compared to the paper piercer. Look at that tip. It's huge. So yeah, I always just put it right above the H and it stays there. Whoops, that's its home. And then I just use a needle. I use this needle sometimes for piercing scallops, but I just keep the tip on there. It goes up here, but it's so big for my hands that I actually just like using this. Anyway, thank y'all so much. Have a great week.